its own AI strategy. And I'm glad to share my view here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Gambit.
Hi everyone, I'm Calvin from Hong Kong. I'm running a project called WhatsApp. It's a social file integrated with wallets and Explorer, which you can imagine is a merge of Telegram and Netflix. So thanks for having me here, and good to see everybody's here.
Hello, I'm Marius from Europe, Lithuania. I'm a partner MVP of the three at Sacro Labs and also the head of our engineering arm, Cypto. In Sacro Labs, we are one of the fastest growing layer 2 protocols currently in the Asia market, focused on gaming industry. We have our own incubator, and we help basically take games from their initial stage of development to end game market and eventually to get connected to publishers and connect to Web3. So yeah, I'm very happy to be here. I've been in Jakarta 5 years ago. I can tell the city has improved so much. And the tech you've been building so far in Indonesia is great. So yeah, glad to be here once again.
Thank you, very nice.
Awesome.
Alright, hey guys, I'm Joe. I'm head of global BD from CoinNet, and I'm also from Hong Kong. So very happy to be here. First of all, and for CoinNet, we are a leading exchange globally. So for us, we've been working on communities and for users. For now, we already list over thousands of coins, and also we keep improving our product and our service and everything. And Indonesia is our a very important market, and we are trying to deep inside here and working together with the whole team here and try to providing a better service for all of you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All right, today's topic sessions, we're going to be talking about what's going to happen, in global market tech, how to navigate the market. So let me just drop the first questions, right? I mean, what's the most of your portfolio right now? This is off the first question, maybe from you, Gambit. So what's you holding right now?
So personally, I'm holding a lot of BNB, okay, because for me, I think the ecosystem is good, and then regardless the price up or down, they come up with a lot of this launch pool. So other than BNB, I'm also holding Bitcoin, of course. So Bitcoin is bullish, especially after Donald Trump become the next president. So other than BNB, Bitcoin, I did hold some other platform token that has the utilization, like having fees reduction, having some benefit in participating their launch pool, getting airdrop of this newly listed token. So basically that's my holding.
So basically BTC and utility tokens like BNB. What about Calvin?
Me and I think this is true. We all mostly hold BTC or ETH because I think many people are investing on memes coins, but of course those are fast money, but also you can total loss it so quick, like in a second. So that is gambling, I would say. So for investment, I would suggest people to hold more stable and have historical coins like BTC and ETH.
Interesting. You mentioned it's ETH there, but as you probably agree, right? ETH has in terms of price action has been lagging for a long time. So I think today we had a pretty good rally, about 8% up. But for yourself, maybe if you want to take the questions, Calvin or Marius, how do you foresee Ethereum in the future? Do you think it's okay in terms of blockchain wise? Because a lot of problems and then there's the all L2 solutions. What do you think as a builder?
So Ethereum has been one of the basically driver factors to actually development of the technology. But so far, because technology moves fast, there are different companies which offers different innovations, etc. For example, our layer 2 protocol is built on top of OAS infrastructure, which is Japanese gaming focused chain.
Right.
So that allows us to be one of the most scalable layer 2s at the moment, and also we have a gasless model as well. So Solana have introduced a proof of history and different models. So I think we should focus on solving a problem overall. Every product, and blockchain is just another product.
To solve the problem.
It's really fancy database in a way, So every company and every decentralized organization should be focused on solving a very specific issue in the market, and that eventually actually will win in the market itself. Because currently market is very speculative, like everyone understands it, and there are loads of companies who invest a lot of money to marketing, but they don't invest enough money to technology.
Product, yeah.
Exactly. So like there is no way that in like 5 years, and we actually already saw, like for example, development on Solana, on even on our chain, and we are still like, we are 1 year old, and like we have been, I think 2 months ago, we had more transactions. We've been top 4 of all of the blockchains based on transactions, of all of the blockchains, and in just 1 year, you know, like, so, you know, focusing on the problem and focusing on actually helping people build, because this is an infrastructure,
Right.
that will win the market. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I mean, but besides that, okay, so you were saying that in terms of building, of course, we're trying to improve from the older solutions, we're trying to get more speeds, more everything else that's much better. But in terms of what you personally hold, or you have the most conviction right now, what would it be?
So besides Sakura token,
Of course.
So I actually own quite a few meme coins. That's because I think that recently institutional investors has been too aggressive on the way we extracted money outside of the retail. So they are literally using retail money inside of the industry to extract as an exit, basically as an exit strategy, and that will not end well. So I think the next cycle, and at the token 2049 as well, like we had this Murad talk, you know, there he literally exposed based on data how the market, how financials are moving, how the assets are moving in the market, there is liquidity, etc. So you can't disagree with numbers, like, and I think this is like kind of opposite movement, you know, to buy the retails to just fight what institutional investors has been doing. So meme coins, I own like several different NFTs for different communities, and so I think that's really important in Web3 if you want to build your business, just access to a different network. But yeah, and a couple of infrastructure coins like BNB, of course.
Of course. I mean, there's Murad, right? Very famous in token. He's talking about super meme cycle, but we have meme panel coming up. Session 7, so don't leave. So next, last but not least for you, Joe, I was just having the same questions with everybody else, because you are working in an exchange, right? As an exchange, I do know apparently Finex a lot, and for Finex itself, I do know this one of the exchange that have a lot of meme tokens. Do you personally invest in meme tokens?
Well, I mean, they just got some Trump token, you know. And for me personally, I hold a lot of CETO, you know. Of course, I work in Coinex, so you guys can see like CET recently has been like booming up for a bit, and that's why, you know, I was trying to like hold in those tokens and see if I can get more like profits on that. And apart from that, I think like most of you guys, like, you know, Bitcoin and also BNB and everything else, I think most of our the same strategies, and as we can see, these tokens actually is stable, and then you can actually, you know, put in a long-term investment. So yeah, more or less the same.
Oh, nice. So getting back to the reference, right? So every one of you guys at least is going to be more mentioning about Bitcoin, but there's going to be a narrative behind why Bitcoin prices go up and down. Maybe let me start with Calvin here. What do you think in the next 18 or 24 months, what's going to happen to Bitcoin? Or what's the top cycle, do you think? Is it going to be like the price range? What do you think?
Well, I would say the 18 to 24 months, the most important thing is the technology. The blockchain technologies can bring to people. Because it doesn't matter when the price going up or down. Because if you have no use case, you don't have application that get users to get into use it. So I think the big barriers right now is the technology, because I think in blockchain technologies, the terms and the territories to explain is too hard for people to understand what is going on. I would say if in the future we can simplify everything, simplify to people that they are willing, I would say what to people that are willing how to adopt, but it's the key part of the future right now.
Oh, nice. I think I like what you're saying. I think use case is definitely really important. Well, how about you, Yanbei? In terms of adoption, I mean, use case is also important, but use case is what's we going to use for an adoption, one of the entry points for adoption, right? And for you, how do you foresee the adoption rate in 18 or 24 months going in the future?
Okay, in my personal view, I think to get this crypto mass adoption, I think it's through all these events, education, and awareness. Okay, because you see, you've been seeing some trend in this Southeast Asia. There've been a lot of these Web3 events, blockchain rate is popping up in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand. That's a part where showing the awareness is growing. Okay, more of the crowd attend to this event and start to know, oh, actually in Indonesia, Jakarta, there's so much of projects, so much of people that loving crypto join to this event. So I think this is the first thing to mass adoption. You have to get awareness for the people out there. So after they get awareness, the next thing I think the community. So start to join, look for some community, form the local community. So among the community, you can learn from each other and you can carry out some side event, sharing event, share what you should know about crypto. And from there, you can get access to different product in crypto industry. So in crypto market, it's not just one buying Bitcoin, buying Ethereum. There are a lot of things like trading spot, trading futures, what's DeFi, how to earn launch pool, airdrop. There are so many of product in this crypto industry. So to get mass adoption, the awareness is very important. That's why I'm super glad to have this kind of event here, and I'm looking forward to join this event every year.
Thank you. But we do meet in a couple of events, right? That's also one of the entry point is to mass adoption is awareness. But what do you think, Marius? Like, if the goal is mass adoptions, how do we ensure? I mean, crypto bros, right? How do you think it can help mass adoption?
Fun part. I'm actually not consider myself a crypto bro.
Okay.
So I'm like really technically focused. So that I'm like doing most of my investments. So I actually analyze the technology behind. So I don't own any Bitcoin, like zero. So this is because I look at the technology, what that technology can bring to humanity, etc. And from the finance perspective, I don't invest into financial products. So, financial products, the ones which are actually impacting financial market, helping do different things. So, so also regarding the overall global outlook, so we will see how much this trend will continue after the election, because now we have this huge hype that, legislations will be pushed into act in the US, and but we will have much better environment, like legal environment in the US to build like companies and products, and that will turn out into like much more finances being pushed into the industry. But it depends on how fast we will be able to build those documents and the legal framework. It also that like they own like a house and they own a senate and they own like they will have the president. So like Republicans will be able to push through their legislations like pretty much like on a highway, hopefully. And we will see how good those legislations and how clear these legislations will be. So that's a very important part, like when it comes to especially US, because it's still the biggest market donor from the financial perspective. From technology perspective, there is another aspect. So if you look to what is a market maturity, so there are three core aspects. So first of all is regulation. So for example, Europe, like 2 years ago, they issued this act called MiCA. So MiCA. So I don't know, like MiCA. And it's an act that describes how crypto market is regulated in the European Union, right? So that's like the thing. So that's one of the examples how governments and our institutional environment is changing to make crypto environment more regulated. It's not perfect, but at least it's something. Like a couple of years ago, we didn't have anything. So legal is one part. Then financial tools. So I really liked that Coinbase made their move, and they basically published their proof of reserves publicly. I know we have representatives from exchanges, so I don't know. Do you publish your proof of reserves as well publicly, or is it?
Yeah, we are public.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, good job. So that's a very big and important movement from like crypto perspective, because we had like so much, just scam and mismanagement happening before. And a third part, which is really important, is infrastructure. So we see technology is getting there. Actually, we have a lot of blockchains which can handle like very big products, and a lot of load on top of them. But the problem is actually we don't have that much products who need that load, right now. So like kind of technology catched up the technological level where we need to be, at least in a reasonable level. But the product didn't catch up. They're not good enough. Like they're not popular enough. They don't solve the problem. They don't have the product market fit basically. We have a really big improvement on wallet usability. So we're like account abstraction or MPC, which is like another way to use your wallet, much more secure, and it doesn't require you to kind of like managing your own security, which is ridiculous thing for me. What like previous Web3 developers and OG Web3 developers try to push for is like, hey, everyone should know how to manage their own security. That's just impossible around the world. And of course, AI is coming in, so we will see how AI will impact the industry. But we're already seeing some crazy stuff like virtuals, AI development, data aggregators, etc.
So that's quite an interesting narrative. For me, AI, I do a lot of memes, and we've been going after AI memes narratives and such. Maybe we can circle back to that later. But for now, I think Joe, as an exchange, right? You work in an exchange. How do you think an exchange will help mass adoptions, or what kind of strategy that you use or that can be beneficial for mass adoptions?
I was just wondering from what you're saying about the legal framework stuff, and also like you guys say, there's an event, happening around the world, and so it's raising awareness for the user, but also raising awareness for government as well. So that's why there's more and more countries trying to make it a more eligible legal framework to try to make sure the users' assets to be secured. For example, if I didn't remember wrong, so Turkey just starting to do their legal license since this year. They've been starting drafting it from last year, and also Brazil is on the processing of a legislation. At the same time, Vietnam the same. So we can see there's a lot more countries. They are raising more awareness of doing the more legal licensing. Is more or less to protecting users, and by the same time, to try to make sure exchange don't fuck up everything. So yeah, that's the thing. So for the event itself, we always can see government people are joining and try to see what happens here. Everyone's okay. Every exchange they doing in their community and everything. So what I can foresee is in the near future, in 24 or 40 months, more and more countries will raising more awareness into licensing, which is what we right now are doing at the moment for Coinex. Like you mentioned about Mika, we are in the process of Mika. That's a very early license, which is very hard to get, and also that's for European, and also this Lithuania license, and Canada MSP, very OG one, and Australia, that's a license as well. So by following the legislation by government, I think that's what every exchange needs to follow, and so that they can providing better service, better product, and better policy for the users, adapting, what the marketing needs, because of, different regions, they probably have different, kinds of regulations. So that's how you're going to adopting these massive things, in the near future. Thank you.
Nice. I think that's also an interesting point, right? Because even though Web3 is more of these decentralized applications, we have a lot of things that don't involve regulators, but we kind of, in most of the places, including Indonesia, we kind of have to be able to work with the regulators, because this is a very scary ocean, and if you don't know what you are doing, you'll get in trouble most of the time. So next, let me just talk about technology, because Marius has been talking a lot about technologies as well, and I think each one of you guys represents and have some technologies in mind that you think will help the mass adoption kind of thing. So maybe I'll start with Gambit this time. because the technology is fast, right? How do you think is the next big thing? Is it AI? What is it? And how do you think technology can help a lot of retail people to get into crypto?
Okay, so for me, the technology not only help people to get into crypto, it should be a technology that help people to easily access to anything that they're not good in. So especially right now, the technology that I'm looking into is AI. So you see, AI has been creating a lot of different products helping people in different ways. So ChatGPT, you can chat and ask all types of questions, making research. I even met with some developers. They told me that right now they don't have to code anything from the beginning. They can just ask ChatGPT for a scenario and they will come up with some basic code. They just need to enhance the code and implement to their system. So other than ChatGPT, some people that not good in doing graphic design, they can ask AI to draw something for them based on their imagination. So the next thing in crypto market, so if the people don't know how to trade, don't know how to do the trading in crypto market, how they can use AI in crypto. So that's where Contact to You is present in this industry. They try to build an AI that help users to get into the trading easily. Okay, so like many of people, they went through education, they try to learn from here and there, but they couldn't get the idea how to really do a trade and how they can make a profit from the trade. By using AI, they can tell the AI, right now I have let's say I have $1,000. I'm going for a very conservative way. Try to only focus on this few coins that I'm familiar with. So you as an AI, you can execute my orders for you and you try to do for me 24 hours. So I think AI will be a massive technology that change the way we live in the world and also change the way we use crypto.
Yes, I agree, Gavin, because I think AI technology is revolutionary, right? I mean, I am not a designer, but apparently I can do designs. I mean, I can just ask the prompt to make me something, just goes up, right? And then imagine if we can do that for coding as well, which we can do right now, right? Most of the time, even the devs are doing, I mean, they have to use some sort of AI to help them. And lastly, you were bringing up trading and having the AI to help. I think that's gonna be one of the game changers as well. Because when people got into crypto and they try trading for the first time, I mean, I would say 80% of the time they will lose money. I mean, coming from not a good trader myself, I lost money. So let me go to Joe as an exchange, right? Because Gavin just says AI, and AI will help with the trading. How about an exchange? How do you integrate, or how do you see this top technology is going to be helping?
Well, I mean, I totally agree with AI stuff, because I think for a lot of exchanges, they like adapting AI into exchange already for pre-market, for everything, you know, to helping users to making analysis of the investment and everything. But for me, I think the other technology, I think, is from Web 2. So we can see these years a lot of the Web 2 industry, they're trying to transform it from Web 2 to Web 3 and adapting into the blockchain as a crypto. Especially you can see a lot of GameFi, like a lot of Web 2 game and trying to getting into Web 3. Especially in Vietnam, there's incubator places like in Vietnam. They do have a lot of startup, GameFi projects. They are trying to move from Web 2 to Web 3. I think this is a trend as well in the future because, like we said earlier, it's rising a lot of awareness. A lot of people notice about blockchain, notice about crypto, and then there must be a lot of people that wants to kind of share a piece of cake from the whole industry. So I think definitely, like in the future, like in AI, Web 2, they all gonna combine together. All went to the crypto industry, and also we see a lot of GameFi and also a lot of GameFi token coming up. So yeah, I think that's from my point.
I agree. I totally agree. From me perspective, my perspective is either gaming ecosystem is going to be the entry point for the new technologies. Because obviously I'm a gamer, I'm a nerd. I do play a lot of games back in the day. Yay. But like right now, what just happened with the Telegram app, right? They have a mini bot. This is the first getaway entry of people coming into the Web3 without knowing that they are coming into the Web3. So GameFi is actually one of the good narratives. Thank you, Joe. what about you, Calvin? What do you think is the new technology, new narratives coming? Because you also do a social fire, right?
Well, I would say, well, AI is great, right? AI fulfills all our creativities and our imaginations, and of course, GameFi as well, because it's fulfill our entertainment needs as well. But one thing we have to aware is our identity. So I would say the most important thing for the next generation technologies will be the decentralized identities. So, because for now, right now, when you register on any new service or new apps, you have to register on your, let's say, email address, your phone number. This can track, this can let other centralized companies that they can track your personal data, right? So with decentralized identities, that we can protect ourselves and we can protect our privacy. So you don't have to scare about scammers, hackers to, let's say, steal your money, steal your identities, or even steal your personal information to sell to other bad companies or bad institutions. So, so before, after we focus in our lifestyle, we have to admire and care about all our personal identity as well. So I would say this will be the next generation that people have to focus and aware about it.
Yes, I agree. I mean, when Web3 started, when crypto started, everything was anonymous, everything was non-docs, right? Even until right now, we do not know. I mean, we had a film about it, a movie about it. Who the hell is Satoshi Nakamoto? He can be Gambit. Right? So we do not know that, right? So that's having a personal identity that is embedding into the future. I think that's one of the great addition. Thank you. And for Marius, let me jump into the next question. We were just talking about Satoshi Nakamoto, right? And as BTC now have a lot of institutional money coming in, how do you think in the futures? Like, I know you're not a fan of Bitcoin that much, but what do you think about in the futures? Is it going to be more PvP in terms of big giant whales eating up the retails, or how do you think is the distribution of Bitcoin is more going to be like equal and fair?
Okay, I got the question. So it really depends on the direction we will go forward, right? Like we are the governments will go forward, because like the way they are acting right now, and we are too slow, basically.
Yes.
So if you would create a good regulator environment and would embrace things, imagine I could be paying I could not be paying in every second cafe or a shop I go in Bali, you know, like I would not be needing to pay 3% because everything would just happen on a blockchain, you know? So that's really annoying. Like that's solving the problem. It's like bank eating my 3% additionally, so, and that discourages people to actually use cards. So that means that less taxes are collected, you know, that means less money for infrastructure development, for education, for everything. So this is a very simple example. I think stablecoin will be a very huge thing, by the way, for a mass adoption in the very near future, because it helps moving money across the board, and we still have crazy fees and literally like very old debt, which is running, legacy debt, which is running under the hood of our financial mechanisms, you know? Like, most of the systems we are using right now has been built like 20, 30 years ago. And it's like, you don't want to use anything that was built like 20, 30 years ago. So you need to kind of like take and rebuild from scratch. One good example was actually my country. So I'm from Lithuania, and when we got independence from like Soviet Union, there was no banking, like at all. You know, so what happened is like we started to build everything from scratch, and now we are like leading fintech center of the whole world. So like sometimes like just like wiping out everything you have at the moment and like starting to build things from scratch are much more agile and much faster, and that can lead to innovation. And I forgot what was the beginning of the question, but yeah.
Is how do you see, like in terms of BTC market? Is it more of an institutionals or?
Yeah. Okay. I see where I started from. So if we will have like a more of the mass adoption, and we will have retail focused products, that means that so much money will come into a market, but eventually retailers
will overcome the institutional investors. Because what's happening right now is like some of the big VCs, they're putting like tens of millions of dollars, and of course those VCs are crowdfunded as well from like different sources of money, from different investors, etc., etc. But there's like still centralized control of all of these things. So when you look to the products like Revolut, yes, I don't know if you know Revolut, but it's like the biggest, one of the biggest, or probably the biggest and most adopted banking app in Europe at the moment. So we have now access to buy like a Bitcoin and Ethereum just literally from your wallet, you know, like, and you can use like a credit card, you can take loans, like it's just literally like this fintech giant. And that creates entry point for a lot of people to at least buy one of the most popular coins, you know, like very simple. So imagine how much money is still not available to come, and especially in Southeast Asia where like a lot of people don't even have bank, like, you know, like
and obviously all around the world, I think having fiat crypto right now we are not ready yet in terms of like the whole transition thing. So I do agree having the application to buy it straight from Revolut, right? Revolut is a driving factor, one of the driving factors. And let me go to Calvin here, because how do you think in terms of institutional traders, retail traders, how do you think in the next year maybe, how the market will look like?
Well, I would say good thing is now all the institutions, investors is coming to the market. So once those financial institutions join the market, it stabilizes the market actually. So with more stable market, retail investor will be more willing and encouraging them to join the market. So I think for now we can see quite a lot of institutions or fund houses. They're setting up Bitcoins or cryptos ETF,
right?
So which makes more and more Web2 investor, they would start to taste the joy of the cryptocurrency. Yes, and more when they get involved more in the market, they would try their own to find ways to invest on other cryptocurrency. Let's say BNB, even Filecoin, or even meme coins. So. With more and more fund house institutions coming to the market, I would say the real-time market will be more and more active, and people will get people more confidence and feel more secure to the market.
Interesting. Because okay, you're from Hong Kong, right? So this year we just have the ETF approved in Hong Kong. And how do you think, or how do you see the people there, like when the news, when they sell on news, or do they take it positively, and like you mentioned, taste the first profit or something?
Well, in Hong Kong, it's actually quite challenged in crypto market, because there is quite a lot of scams happen before the market being stable. So when it comes to Hong Kong, their approval for cryptocurrency ETF launch in Hong Kong, it actually gives more confidence to people in Hong Kong to try to invest and try to understand more about cryptocurrency. And of course, not just cryptocurrency, even the blockchain technology, this is what they're focusing on. I can see right now in Hong Kong, there is a blooming of blockchain technologies company, especially we can say in Cypto in Hong Kong, which is a kind of a famous startup space for blockchain companies. So I can see that the market in Hong Kong is getting more and more positive right now.
Oh, more mature.
Exactly.
Nice. For you, Gambit, because you're working with trading AI, right? So obviously this is more catered towards retail users. But with the ETF coming in, with a lot of institutions coming in, do you see it as a competitor, or do you see it as the same people that trying to push the industry out?
For me, I think when institutional players coming into the market is a good sign, because it provides more liquidity.
Of course.
Okay, more liquidity, and for every market, there's not only one players in the market. So it has to be institutional and the retail player together in the market. So good things about now, you see when the ETF is approved, from what I heard in my country, Malaysia, many of the companies that have some reserve cash, they want to hold in Bitcoin, but they have the trouble like, I as a my company as an entity, how should I open an account with the exchange, and who should the one who hold the login for this account? So right now with the ETF, it solved this question, it solved this problem. So the company no longer have to own an account with the exchange. They just have to invest their money to the ETF fund, which the fund will buy Bitcoin and handle Bitcoin buying selling for them.
Right.
So that's where we will drive more hot money from the institutional to the market, which in return, we as a retail trader, that provide us, we can see that the market is pumping and sometimes it's dropping, so that provide us more opportunity.
Entry point with the volatility.
Correct. So both institutional will drive the market, and also as a retail trader, we also drive the market. Whereas a lot of retail are bullish on one coin, eventually the institutional will come to the market as well. That's why,
Attention economy.
Correct.
Attention economy thesis is where everybody's eyes focus in one thing. I mean that's the most volume most of the time. The same goes with an exchange. I guess Joe will agree with that. With the attention economy, right? When we have one news coming into one point, like let's just say Bitcoin to like Donald Trump, it's going to have the most volume that day, right? So in terms of institutional and traders in maybe 1 minute, can you just let me know how do you think, is it going to be better with a lot more retailers coming in, or is it going to be more PvP in terms of whales, institutions, traders coming and eat up the little fish?
Well, I mean, definitely we encourage more institutional traders coming here for exchange. Of course, like liquidity you mentioned, that's of course benefit for exchange. Like we need liquidity. And also, speaking of the retail traders, also for exchange, we also want more and more customers, users to using our exchanges to helping us to improving our product and service and everything. One thing Marius just mentioned about the Revolut stuff, and I think it's the same in Latam region. They're using PIX as a payment method, something like Revolut. So they're just adapting these things into the daily merchandising and everything, buying stuff with PIX, but directly using their wallet, USDT from their wallet. And I think this is something should be a trend in the future. I think from other countries, they are looking for issuing cards and making life much easier just using this. I mean, this kind of mixture of institutional, retail, and everyone just getting into a very healthy development thing, especially for blockchain and crypto that should be in a more stable and more sustainable way of developing the future, under the regulation from the government side.
Right. So one last question for all of you. I just wanted to know, what's the prediction? This is the prediction for the end of 2024 Bitcoin prices. Starting from you, Gavin.
So for me, I'm quite bullish on Bitcoin because halving is over. After the halving, there's not much bumping happen. So I've been foreseeing and I'm forecasting Bitcoin high potentially by end of this year or early next year, 100,000 should be no problem.
100K, nice. What about you, Calvin? End of this year.
Well, I share the same insight as well. Well, thanks for Trump.
Let's go down.
In the election, we can see how U.S. government will support the cryptocurrency after the election. So I guess it's bullish. Yeah.
So what's the range?
Well, I will be more aggressive, maybe 120.
More bullish then, more bullish. What about you, Marius?
100K is probably reasonable, but I would say the whole crypto market cap should grow around 70 to 100% actually. That's why I'm not 100% British, but from 70 to 100% should be within
2 trillion.
Yeah.
Very bullish, very nice. Joe, what about you, man? What do you think in terms of BTC prices by the end of the year?
Well, I mean, I'm not a predicting guy. If I can predict, I can earn money already. But of course, we should be optimistic in this industry, and I agree with you guys. Probably stable growth that we good, under a very sustainable development for the whole industry.
thank you everybody for today and for having the panel with me. Thank you.
Thank you.